Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Talking Movies. My name is Josh.
I'm Clay.
I'm Randall. I was going to say something stupid. I decided not to. Did it anyways.
I'm Chris.
Or are we? Because this is
Bro,
Seconds from 1966 by, what is his name? Frankenheimer.
Yeah.
John Frankenheimer.
Okay.
Completely
Yeah, I knew I was
lost
going to say that wrong if I tried.
Rock Hudson, in an astonishing change of pace, stars in Seconds. Rock Hudson, as a man who buys for himself a totally new life, a chance to begin again. Every man's dream since time began.
Why you're staring at me like that? Hey, John. Hey, John. Why are they staring at me like that?
They're like you. Reborn.
Oh, no!
The John Frankenheimer film. Seconds. Bold. Bizarre. Terrifying. Seconds.
Yeah, John Frankenheimer. Chris,
Jingleheimer
this was your pick. Give us a synopsis. What's this movie
All
about?
It is about I don't know, kind of depressed, a little older than middle-aged banker guy who's, just kind of going through the motions and, not really that involved with his wife. And he meets, I'm trying to remember the exact order of things, but he gets a mysterious phone call from like an old friend who says to like meet up with him. So goes on a little bit of a wild goose chase to like track this friend down and go to this place. And nope, now you got to go to this place. And he comes onto this mysterious, office building who throws out the idea of that if you want to change your identity and restart and have another life, that we could do that for you. And they have a few little tactics up their sleeves to try to like persuade him to do it. But,
Yeah.
He does it and he becomes Rock Hudson.
Yeah.
That is a porno name, by the way, if I've ever heard one.
Yeah.
Sure.
Not his real name, if you had all wondered.
Oh, I was pretty sure. I didn't know that for sure, I guess, but I assume so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was scrolling through like older noirish type things not too long ago, and this one just kind of came on my radar because I'd recognized the director's name, but it wasn't just like a standard noir. It had a little twist to it, a sci-fi horror twist to it. So that kind of piqued my interest on it a little bit more than, most other stuff from this time.
That was my first question.
Yeah, I don't think it was very well received when it came out. I think it was basically a flop. But yeah, it's kind of gone on and, got a little cult status to it, I think. It's got a Criterion release and it's pretty well talked about these days.
Yeah, I'd heard of it. I haven't seen a ton of Frankenheimer movies, but I've seen a few of the classics, and he's done a lot of just like solid action movies from the 60s, 70s. Like he did the sequel to The French Connection and Ronin and
Oh, nice.
a bunch of cool stuff like that. So he's one of those like probably under talked about, but like solid journeyman of that time period. And this one had stuck out because of the sci-fi horror aspects to it. I always heard it was really good, but never gotten around to it. I freaking loved it. I thought it was awesome. Totally, I can totally see why it was not received well at the time.
Yeah,
It's
same.
super experimental, very weird and low budget and grimy and
Well,
Yeah, it's
how many movies pull from this
dude.
in the last, like, I saw, okay, I really wanted to dislike this movie.
Yeah.
Like,
I figured.
because everything about it is something I wouldn't like. Like, and when I say I wanted to, like, I didn't put like thought into it. I just like I would have naturally have been like, yeah, probably not going to dig this one.
Yeah,
It
I
took me a
figured
while to,
I figured you're gonna be like, this is not one I really want to watch.
and so like I almost didn't get time to watch it. I had to like make time. I stayed up really late last night to watch half of it, and then
Yeah.
I got up and started watching it while I was working. So I didn't get a really in-depth, clear viewing, but it kept drawing my attention to it, and I turned the volume up kind of loud because I wanted to be like, I want to hear dialogue, and I want to be able to like, some of these movies from this era, there is more dialogue than there is anything because, especially when it's budgetary restraints stuff like that, a story like this, it's going to have a lot. So I knew that if I could at least hear it, I could get the gist of what was going on. But man, I kept turning and looking at the screen, and like I kept seeing other movies that I've seen. There's so many movies, and I could say all that to say that like I really enjoyed this, man. I'm going to probably buy a copy of it.
Cool.
I think Carissa will like it too.
I definitely am. I got to the end of it and I was like, man, I want 20 more minutes of this.
Yeah.
Right.
I was so into it.
I thought it was way more heavy.
Yeah.
Oh, Clay's muted.
If you go on eBay and put it in your watch list, I put 2 of them in my watch list, and within seconds, I had like 20% offers. 20%
nice.
off.
Oh,
I don't think people are buying a whole lot of this movie anymore. So
Yeah.
whoever's got them is like super
good call.
motivated to drop a price. So
Yeah, but I do that on eBay a lot. Like I'll just go click around a few things or save a few things and then wait, and you'll usually get offers on stuff. That's I think
It
a
doesn't surprise me.
fairly well known tactic. I think.
Yep.
But yeah, I'll love this too. I really wanted. I think it could have used at least an extra like 15 minutes or so. Especially,
I was so surprised because there's sort of a little lull in the middle.
That's what I was about to say.
But then where it goes next, the way that it ends, I was just like, God dang. I was like just so drawn into it.
Yeah, that last sequence of like him going back to the thing and meeting the old friend and like talking to the old dude again, like that whole sequence was just super engaging. And I was like, oh, like what is happening?
I would say even from the point where he goes to see his wife,
yeah,
her whole talk about him was like really when it was like, oh
that shit made me sad, bro.
It really like crystallized for me. I was like, oh, this shit is awesome. This is
and it's like
really smart.
You can see there was a lot of regret. It just like clicked one day where he was getting. I think he was getting told what to do a bunch, and then all of a sudden he was like, I don't like this. And then when he saw okay, I need to reiterate. I watched this at like 85% capacity, so I was missing a little bit here and there. So what got him to go see his wife? Was there something specific that happened?
Well, he found out that the chick he was kind of getting interested in, like, was a plant from the company, as was all the other people in the party were plants. So I think that's one of the flaws of the movie. I mean, I guess you could maybe say it's a good point too, but I think it flows along, but I feel like it's like maybe missing a scene or two here or there. Cause like it does kind of jump from like, they're at the party and he, gets drunk and starts blabbing on about it. And then kind of all of a sudden he's going to meet the wife. But yeah, I mean, I think that's a flip where he realizes that he's still kind of unhappy and is not actually in control because he was supposed to have this freedom and he doesn't.
Right. Well, I think one thing that this is something I wouldn't often gripe about, but I think the editing in this one was kind of wonky. If I notice editing, it's got to be bad because like I don't particularly care, and I don't think it's a big deal. I really did enjoy this movie like a lot more than I was planning on. I'm like 4 and a half stars. Enjoyed it. Like really, 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 really liked it. I think my wife's gonna like it, and I think it's one that I'll probably revisit. I thought, dude, the set pieces in it at the very first half of it or so, first quarter of it. I think it's a set piece, right? Where he's like in that. The room was all weird looking and shit. Is that not? Am I tripping, or was that not a set?
No, well, yeah, that's a set. Yeah.
Okay, that was awesome. Like that because that was real, right? They had to make that
set design. Yeah.
So like that kind of stuff I like, and I do like black and white, man. I like black and white a lot. If you can watch some of my videos, not tell anybody to watch one of them, but like if you happen across mine, I do a lot of black and white editing, especially now that I'm learning how to edit better.
Mm-hmm.
Black and white is just something I like. All my photos are in black and white.
Yeah, it looks good, and there was like some really wonky like wide angle lens choices in
Right.
there that just
Yeah.
like made everything look so cool and weird.
Yeah. It's like I don't think the editing was bad
Yeah,
because it was very good in some places. I think it's just a
That's
little
what made
dated.
it bad.
Yeah, I just think it's a little dated that from the perspective of now, it's could maybe be construed as bad or just weird or wonky, but I mean for the time, like I don't recall seeing very many movies of this era doing things
yes.
like this.
So what I was
I mean,
saying,
that's not, it's still held to a certain.
it's jagged. It's jagged. It's like
That's a good word.
it's definitely like experimenting.
Yeah.
There's also like they didn't have the precise editing tools that we have today. Like
Right.
or literally cutting film. So all old movies have
For
a
sure.
little bit of like some jagged edges to them.
And I'd like to reiterate, I don't really care. It's just something I know.
Yeah, but it's definitely it's trying for stuff, and it sort of jumps sometimes on purpose. I think that's
Dude,
I don't know if it's partly his mindset or
this story is awesome.
Yeah,
because it's done a lot today. The story has been in. So I can't tell you which ones. I just know that I kept watching this and kept seeing. Oh man, I know I've seen that somewhere. Like at least half a dozen times. I thought that like, oh man, I've seen this in another movie before.
Yeah,
it's all stuff from I'd say 90s and newer. It's all stuff from my childhood. But wish I could recall some of the exact titles that I'm talking about. But
yeah, it made me think a little bit of like Invasion of the Body Snatchers and stuff too, just because of like the identity ideas in it. And that was a 60s movie as well.
I was thinking Stepford Wives a little bit. I don't know why. I think more like vibes than anything.
I can kind of see that. Clay, you haven't gotten the chance to talk yet. What do you think?
I mean, I don't really know. It was okay to me. Like, I'm not a big 60s movie person. I think it was more just my preference in movies versus like whether or not the movie was good. I think the movie was good. My kid watched it with me. He really, really liked it. And like a couple things really stood out to me. And like, even this morning I was thinking about when he turns over the trophy and he's like, you carved that inscription in, like you sat down and put that in. He was like, I totally forgot. Like, I don't remember. And I thought like, man, isn't it funny how like I'm 40 in my 40s now. And there are things like back in the day that seemed like they were such a huge part of my life. And now I probably have totally forgotten them just because it's been so long. And I was like, God, I have moments like that where I'm like, my God, I can't believe I forgot that. But now everybody has camera phones and can take videos of their kids and whatever. And, you don't have to remember everything. And I think it was more like sort of a culture shock, but watching life in the 60s, right? Everybody's kind of walking around real fast in the background. And I'm like, oh, nobody walks anywhere. We all got Segways and golf carts and lifestyles. They seemed like, oh, we're so busy, right? We need to be places. And I'm like, that ain't even busy today, right? You're just kind of mulling around. Stuff like that was interesting to me. But like the movie, I felt it was pretty predictable. I've never seen a Rock Hudson movie before, and I was kind of like, oh, so this is Rock Hudson, right? He has a presence about him, he's pretty tall and he's got, the G.I. Joe chin and all that. And I mean, I was interested in a lot of aspects of the movie. I just really wasn't like, oh, that was a banger, but it was good. It was a good movie.
I've had a lot of them where I was like, yeah, I know it's a good movie. It just ain't my cup of tea. I figured it would be, y'all would be kind of surprised I liked it. I didn't think Clay was going to like it. I knew Josh was going to like it, and I wasn't sure about Chris.
Yeah.
Chris picked it. He's going to like it.
No, that's not actually the case.
Okay.
The science fiction parts of it, though, I was thinking would interest him, and that's what made me want to let Chris watch it. I've got a lot of like, not Tales from the Crypt, but the other ones, science ones.
Twilight Zone.
Twilight Zone.
I was totally thinking
like a long Twilight Zone to me. Kind of.
Yeah, totally. I was definitely thinking that watching.
Like
that.
I like the what's up with the Okay, they go to the party, and the first couple that he's talking to, it's got like that 19-year-old girl, and then like that 76-year-old dude they're hanging out, and they're like a couple or some shit. Like, I forget, like the age gap back then was so pronounced.
Oh
And
man,
dude, that girl was like 22 years old. That guy was got to be in his late 50s, man.
I
And
was
she's like,
telling,
"Hey, honey,"
I
I'm like, "Oh my god, you don't mean dad? Like that's your boyfriend? Wow, that's crazy."
was telling my kid, like, everybody in this movie looks 55. Like everybody looks, and I looked up Rock Hudson's like 40, and I was like,
Well,
damn.
do you know that there's an explanation for that? It's because everybody that okay, so like the clothing that you wear when you we don't really change our style much, right? And as kids grow up, you still wear the same clothes, so you just look older. So when you look the same as you do in high school, so that your old high school pictures, you look like you're 30 to your kids, and you're not. You're 17. It's because your style stays the same. Your hair might go might go gray, and but you look similar. And I've read about that before, and it made a lot of sense because I've always wondered why a 25-year-old in a movie to me looks like he's 50. It's because they're just from a different era. Their style, their hair, everything was from that era.
Dressed different. Yeah. Also,
Weird, huh?
everybody smoked and drank a lot too.
Dude, they're laying in bed about to go to sleep, like,
Yep.
damn, bro.
I smoked for like 20 years of my life, man. And I was in there, I was watching this movie, and the guy's smoking in the bedroom while his wife's standing across the room. And I was like, I can't imagine being in a room with some woman and being like, I'm going to smoke a cigarette. You don't smoke, right? You okay with that? And they're just like, sure. And you're like,
yeah.
So the whole room is going to smoke that for like 2 days.
Oh, yeah. If you didn't smoke, you still smoked because you were around it.
Miserable.
Yeah.
Miserable times.
Oh, it's wonderful times, dude. Scotch for breakfast, cigarette for lunch.
Oh, man.
Yeah. What did y'all think about that? Like hippie, like grape
party.
smashing.
Oh, the wine smashing stuff.
The only
It
people
annoyed the
wearing
living shit out of
suits.
me, honestly. It made me mad.
Yeah.
But like, I think it was kind of supposed to.
So I was reading something about this movie, and someone, it was actually like a behind the scenes thing. It might have been from the Criterion. I just found it on YouTube.
Nice.
But someone was saying that part of this movie was sort of pushing back against the like 60s revolution, like where you could change yourself, like reinvent yourself. You could, through drugs or whatever, like you could become a new person. And like the whole movie is like basically, you can't escape yourself no matter where you go. Well, no matter what you do, you're still there. You can't erase those scars.
I read a sort of a theory about the youth of today struggle because they can't ever escape their like online or digital records or whatever. Like you couldn't say, "Oh, I'm not that guy anymore," because everybody can straight check the tape and be like, "Well, yes, you were, and you tweeted X, Y, Z." So it causes like some depression, or I don't know. So, but yeah, that's an interesting point, man.
I liked all the characters in this movie. There was that guy that was like his Alfred or whatever, the older fella that was always like, "Hey man, I'm here for you if you need me." Like that guy, I loved that character. He just felt so creepy and robotic.
Yeah. Absolutely, yeah. It's like this guy's definitely he's a company man. Yeah.
My favorite company man was the last one at the end that he talks to before he gets the gurney treatment. And the guy's like,
the old man
talking to him about how it all works, and he finally figures it out. And then they're like, "Get his ass out of here,"
Right. I thought it was funny even in the beginning because he talks to that guy in one of the early scenes too before he does it, and I was like, "Why aren't you young? Like, why are you so old?" I was like, "If you believe in this, I'm not sure I trust you."
For real.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Even though it's totally a little bit predictable, like where it goes.
For sure.
It didn't lessen any of the impact for me. I just thought it was really well done, and I think we can all relate to like, wanting to reinvent ourselves or having regrets about our past and wishing we could erase things and start fresh. And
well, that's the moral of the whole story is like
Yeah.
We understand that you think that the grass is greener over there, but trust, it may not be. And maybe you should just appreciate the things you got in front of you, because ultimately he wanted to go see his wife, and you could see that on his face that when she starts talking, he's just thinking like, I wish I was just still here in my house in my very unspectacular life. Like I missed that, because in reality, partying all the time, it is not fun. Like it's just I've done it. And I thought I was having fun while I was doing it, but today I got to go and help a lady that locked her keys in her car with my boys hanging out with me, and it was just like those are the little. It's not nothing big. I didn't do really much for the lady, but I tried to help her out, right? But it was like spending that time with my kids was like way more fun than waking up with a hangover or whatever, right? And it's just like these little bitty things that I get to do. Making dinner with my wife earlier in the kitchen, literally, like she's helping me make the sauce. I'm telling her, hey, add this, do this, stir that. I got to make it quick because I got to get on at 8:00. Like I could have done it by myself, but I wanted her to help. I wanted that's where fun is at, man. Getting around people that care about you, doing a podcast with your friends. That's what's fun, man. I mean, look, dude, having a good time every now and then is one thing. I get that. Yeah. But man, there's that lifestyle where you're just constantly out drinking, like barfly type people, bro. No, sir. Been there, done that. No, thank you. I wish I could.
It also was kind of like you're running away, the first time, you're running away the second time, you're running away the third time. Like, when are you going to actually engage and take responsibility, I guess? I don't know.
Good point.
There's lots of adult points in this movie for sure, but it was good, man. It was a good movie.
Yeah. And just like making the most of the life that you have, and not trying to just moving on from the scars, because they're part of what make you, and just, being better and being present. Like part of the big thing is him finding out that his, what his wife thinks of him, and like how little she kind of thinks of him.
Yeah.
But like, I think back then, he's like, even now, the house in Malibu would have been a huge upgrade. Sorry.
No, that's okay. You finish your thought.
So like, he went from this mundane life as a banker to now he lives in Malibu on the beach. The waves are breaking literally outside his window, right? Most people would think, well, that's a huge upgrade, right? Your life is so much better. You have all this stuff. And really,
that's all it is.
Yeah. It doesn't make him happy in the long run.
Yeah.
I mean, if we had to pack up and go, let's say our house was on fire, right? And it's like, hey, here's an example. When my house flooded, I had some time to get stuff together. We just didn't think it was going to get as bad as it got. We got really unfortunate, right? But when time came for me to go, okay, time for us to get out of here, what did I grab? I didn't grab stuff, dude. I grabbed my kids, a couple pairs of clothes, as much food as I can get, and I got the hell out of there. Like, I lost everything by choice. I could have started packing it up and bringing it upstairs, trying to hide it here and squirrel it away. Dude, that was not my concern, man. I was like, hey, ain't shit we can do about this right now. Make sure my family's safe. So getting all this stuff is cool. I love my record collection. But if, one of you guys were in like a life-threatening situation, I'll sell it in a heartbeat to help out. Like, whatever, man. Like, it's just stuff. Like, it's I'm halfway through my life or more. I don't need this stuff. I like it.
I mean, I struggle with stuff a bit because I love to collect things.
Me too.
All of us do. I think
that's why I said that.
We're all collectors, right?
One of the reasons we're friends, I think.
Yeah, sometimes I'm like, dude, could I just, but I have so many times I've had to sell my whole collection of whatever, and I've been like, all right, screw it, here you go, right? But it just sucks doing that, right?
It sucks for sure.
I think the more times you do it, either you become to where you're like, this is just another transaction and stuff is stuff and I need the money. Or
that's where I've gotten.
Like later you get like even more attached to your new stuff to where you're like, oh, I'd hate to have to get rid of it again. And
No, I've definitely come to the point to where I just look at it as temporary joy, and I'm like, all right, I got a handful of things that it would sting to let go of, a couple of rancid things, a couple of my Terrifier things, my stereo. Like, other than that though, like the TV can go. Like, I need my computer and my camera. I don't need the rest of the stuff. And even the rancid stuff, like all but like one or two of the things are replaceable, and even the one or two that aren't like replaceable kind of are. I can still find them eventually.
And sometimes you just get tired of looking at your stuff too. Like all the pictures that I had on my wall in my old house, I haven't even hung them up because I'm like, I don't know if I really like those anymore. I could just get new ones. So
sometimes you don't want your old place or your new place to feel just like your old place.
Your old place, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what about like, how do you guys feel about this? Like, whenever I had an opportunity, or okay, like whenever COVID started going on, and I had to didn't have to shop no more. I still had a comic book collection, but I was so like kind of distraught over losing the shop that I just didn't even want to look at comics anymore. I just moved on completely from that medium or media, whatever it is, whatever that word was, that type of collectible. And like, I think, it almost happened with movies, but I actually purged like the stress of owning a little movie shop actually made me more interested in movies. I really thought, I'm going to sell this place and I'm going to hate movies or something, or I'm going to like just not hate them, but like become completely disinterested in. Yeah, just be like, whatever, man. But it really did actually do the opposite. I've been having fun with movies a lot more since I got rid of that place. So I guess I'm lucky. But at the end of the day, this movie is really a thinker, man. It really, how it's made is separate from this. How what it means, and it means I think it's an important story. Anyways, I don't know if it's an important film, but an important story.
I think how it's made is important though, because we talk about like, oh, if you could make a movie, right? And this is sort of as bare bones as it gets outside of the house in Malibu and all that. But I mean, if you just had an old school video camera and a good script and could tell a story and had maybe a good face or two, you could make this movie.
Yeah. Oh, I've thought that 100 times. I think we could make a movie if we wanted to. It would take some sacrifice because we would all have to suck up the time and figure that out. Everything else, I think we could do. I don't know how good it would be, but we could make a movie for sure.
We could use a house in Galveston or whatever.
Oh,
we substitute.
We could do something for sure.
Louisiana Bayou.
Dude, if I started just jotting down, sorry, what were you saying, Chris?
Because we go film on the swamp somewhere.
Bro, I'm so terrified of that, but down. But
I don't think you are. I think that would be horrible. In a swamp, like it would.
I didn't say I would like it.
It would be miserable. That's all I mean.
I mean, yeah, I think it would be pretty miserable, but like
that could be the starting point, and then you could upgrade to normal.
It starts there, and then we realize how much we hate it, so it has to upgrade.
It's like good production value. It looks cool, but we're all like trudging through the swamp up to our knees and like
with the mosquitoes.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. I'm convinced you're right. Fuck a swamp. Let's stick with concrete.
And alligators. And shit.
Yeah, they're pretty shitty to just hang out in. It's not like a spot you want to
go. Just sitting on a dock in the middle of nowhere. Like,
why do all the actors have like nets over them? Like
I really enjoyed this movie, man. That was a good pick, Chris. What made you pick it? You just saw it and wanted to watch it, huh?
Just scrolling through stuff about older movies. I think Letterboxd or something probably. Like I said, this was just a a sci-fi horror type, which you don't see a lot of really in the 60s.
No, not from the 60s.
I mean, it wasn't like scary or anything like that. And
no, but. Those, especially at the end when they're like wheeling him down the hallway and he's screaming, like that's some effective like horror imagery right there.
Worst nightmare.
Yeah, dude. He finds out he's just gonna be another faked body.
Yeah,
for the company. So it's a bit bummer. The whole movie's kind of a bummer, but the ending
it kind of is, dude.
The ending is for sure. Like I just kept. I mean, we're all getting. Some of us younger and older than others, but
I feel old.
Josh is old and
you behave old.
Yeah.
But I mean, we're all getting to the point in life where we've lived a lot of life, and it could be easy to get complacent and just unhappy or bored or whatever.
This is sort of shit that I think about all the time, honestly. Like,
why do you think I do so much shit?
Oh, I know. I understand it. I totally
I'm terrified of being like, oh man, I should have done more.
Yeah.
I get comments and like questions a lot about like, don't you ever like take a day off? I'm like, nah, I don't see the point.
Yeah.
Nothing I do makes me miserable. I'm happy with everything I do.
Yeah. Well, like you were saying earlier too, though, with owning the comic book shop and being into comic books, and then owning a movie shop and being in, like, it's got to be hard to doing something that you love for a living, but also disconnecting it and still keeping your personal relationship to it without it just becoming a job or being work.
So I think more often than not that would be an issue. But since I spent like a decade being like a certified junkie, like my day job was getting high. And so like my whole life revolved around what I was trying to accomplish like financially. And it's not foreign to me. Like I find comfort in the fact that I can just do what I love, and that's what I was also starting to pay the bills. But I think that I'm probably very abnormal in that aspect. I think that would be pretty miserable for most people. And I think maybe it just needed to be this one thing. I don't know that I could have kept it up with what I was doing. I don't know. I feel like I've done a lot of thinking lately and a lot of, self-reflection, because I'm pretty happy right now. I'm pretty grateful for what's going on, but I understand that it could just be like gone because it's happened to me so many times. But I don't mind being wrapped up in what I'm doing for a job in life. I like it, but it ain't for everybody.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like you're like going out and getting high all the time. I mean, you're actually doing something you love and being productive at it.
Right.
But yeah. The movie was very like contemplative and
makes for a good conversation.
Yeah, it was awesome. I was happy with the pick after I watched it. I wasn't sure what Randy was going to think.
I almost texted you and I was like, I'll let him sweat it out.
But I figured it would at least be a good conversation either way.
Yeah, no, good pick, Chris. Good.
Yeah, it was
pick.
quality. Yeah, good pick.
Really good. I feel like I saw this title at one point and was like, maybe that would be a pick down the road. But I was like, honestly, I don't know if I would have ever picked it just because of the 60s aspect of it. But
it's a bit risky, honestly.
A little bit risky for the group, but
yeah, I wanted to pick a Ingmar Bergman movie, but I was like, no, that I'm not gonna do. But
wait,
so maybe,
who's that?
Like what old
Swedish guy.
Swedish
Persona.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Persona, Wild Strawberries.
Full disclosure, I've been thinking about picking Hour of the Wolf because
that's the one I was gonna pick.
Okay, because I've like almost watched it so many times, and I'm like, and I just let it never happened. I'm like, maybe I just need to pick it for the group and
I think I
force myself to watch it.
They're all amazing movies.
Yeah, I absolutely love that movie, and that's the movie that I wanted to bring up too. But I was like,
yeah,
I don't know how well that one's.
I feel like that one I'm not gonna dig.
Yeah, so like I think I kind of talked myself into Seconds because this was like less risky, I guess, even though it was still kind of risky.
Well, there's a band that I really like called Hour of the Wolf. Maybe they got their name from that movie. If that's the case, at least I'm a little more interested for that reason. I mean, I'm kind of joking, but not really. Like, there is a band called that I really like. So
yeah,
it's like a werewolf type movie.
No.
Okay, so what? Okay.
So Chris is the only one that's actually seen it, but I know that
I haven't seen it.
You haven't seen it.
I thought I did, but I didn't.
Okay, I know Robert Eggers, the guy that did Witch and stuff. He's a huge Ingmar Bergman fan. Like you can see, like he shoots the way that he does, sort of. Mm-hmm. And from what I've heard, that the Lighthouse has a lot of Hour of the Wolf in it.
Yeah, it's very much. I mean, Lighthouse is pretty much not a ripoff.
Descent in the Madness type stuff.
Yeah, they're living on an island like alone, and yeah, the guy just kind of slowly just goes insane. So the end of it is super weird and like, yeah, it's an awesome movie. I don't want to ruin anything, but so probably not one for Randy.
Okay. I'll just avoid it then.
Okay.
I don't want to watch one that y'all think I'm not going to like. You're probably not wrong.
I mean, who knows? I mean, I'm
I mean, that's true.
I mean, you never know. I mean, I was expecting you to not really like this one that much, so.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm a little surprised you liked it as much as you did.
Shit, I'm surprised.
I did get to the end of it, and I was like, "There's a chance Randy likes this," but I'm not sure. You know, like I was like, "There's a chance," but glad you dug it.
Dude, did you see that Jim Carrey clip I put in the Jesse video?
Yeah.
Yes,
I was expecting a few more comments on it, but no, not really many people are commenting on it, which means people probably didn't get to that point in the video, I guess. But
also it's like sort of in the middle-ish,
Yeah.
right? So I think by the time you get to the end of it, you probably forgot about it.
oh, that's a good point.
Yeah.
I comment on videos as I'm watching them typically, but
you guess people do that.
uh,
I don't usually do that. I don't really comment though.
I was gonna say I can't imagine you really saying much unless it's like something like really, really, really positive. I don't see you as like a shit talker very much.
I'm not a shit poster.
Troll. You're not a troll, Josh.
No.
No, he leaves that to me. I haven't done that much in a long while. I kind of let that chill out a little bit. It's in my holster. I will pull it out if I need to, but like
only on the
troll holster.
Yeah,
only on your like UFC podcast, right?
right.
Roast the guys that annoy you.
Oh, dude, I got all over this guy who is a UFC channel guy because he was saying ridiculous, stupid shit.
See, and
You triggered. You've been triggered.
I was like, "Come on, James, stop it." But yeah, man, the movie was good, dude. I had a good time watching it. I think it's the actor. I think I just liked. There was a couple of scenes in it I really liked. It got me at the beginning, man. The beginning of the movie was pretty easy to start getting interested in.
Yeah. It's mysterious enough. Like the whole like first like 30 minutes before the transformation, it's so weird. Like
yeah, you don't know what the hell's going on.
You don't know what's going on. I honestly think like maybe Lynch likes this movie because there is some like real surreal stuff happening in the first part.
Yes, there's a bunch of movies that I thought of.
I was thinking Mikhail Glocklin looks so much like Rock Hudson too, from Twin Peaks.
Yeah, a little bit.
That's fair. Yeah.
Yeah, he has a similarity to him.
This could definitely be Twin Peaks-ish.
Kind of a wandering around actor too, just wandering around, figuring shit out as it happens.
This is the square jaw, all American boy look. Yeah. And Rock Hudson, I don't know if you guys know this. He was gay.
I was about to bring that up. Like it's like
wait, really? The main guy?
Yeah, it's kind of reminiscent of his life because he was.
That's what I knew. That was one of the things that people talked about this movie. That it's sort of interesting that he was in this and he's leading a double life.
Yeah, he was.
That dude was gay.
Yeah, he was like a Hollywood fabrication where they just kind of propped him up and changed his names and threw him in all these 50s and 60s like heartthrob, or 40s and 50s I guess probably like heartthrob.
A lot of romantic comedies and
roles
stuff like that.
Yeah, he was a closeted.
That's hard.
Yeah, I mean, and he died of AIDS in like the 80s.
Yeah.
He was like
one of the first people to. Yep.
So very, very similar to this movie of just like him living a double life and being somebody that he's not.
Yeah.
So
man, poor guy.
Adding to just the bummer factor of the movie.
I mean, I like a good downer. Like honestly, it's weird, but I do. That sucks though. That being real life sucks.
One of the things that special features thing I watched said this was sort of his like first like, I don't know, I would say serious role, but like more dramatic role.
Yeah, because he produced this, so I think I saw like his manager or something was like his, not like his lover, but like it was his like control of his career and helped him through all these things and aware of what he was, and they like tried to hide a bunch of stuff, but I mean this was him trying to like branch out a little bit,
trying to break out of like the romantic comedies and things.
Ooh, that's kind of sad, man. The guy's, this is sort of a foreshadowing of his real life or what he may be.
And it's a pretty bleak ending when you think about it that way.
Yeah, he's like silenced and put down.
Yeah,
I don't know why I'm laughing. It's not funny, but it is kind of. I guess
I laugh too, but it's fucked up.
You know what's funny is the whole time I was watching this movie, like the second half of it, every time he was hanging out with that like weird hippie chick, I kept thinking like, man, it's weird that he hasn't kissed that woman yet. Like maybe he just wasn't trying to. Like I found it real.
She wasn't hot. She was mediocre.
Well, I don't find a lot of women that in the movies that hot that aren't brown-haired, plain-looking women. So like, what do I know? But I didn't think she was particularly attractive either.
I thought she was good enough. You know, if I found her on the beach, I'd be all right. You know,
yeah, a couple of those fucking umbrella drinks. Josh was like, "What's up, white girl?"
Yep.
When he walks by her, and then she's like, "Hey, wait a minute, let's try again." I was like, "Oh no, she's that. No woman does that.
Yeah,
no woman runs up to you and
I was
says,
like,
"Don't walk away, total stranger."
She's the crazy one. Stay away from the crazy one.
Yeah, no doubt.
I felt bad for that man's wife, bro. He just dipped out with there was no story about her. Nobody cared. She's just, I guess he's gone. I better go get a job. Oh, wait, it's 1960 something. Can't do that either because I'm a fucking woman and they hate me. Like, my goodness, dude.
I mean, they were doing free love by then. They were, there were titties everywhere. And,
she didn't look like the type to have titties out, bro. She looked more like
I'm just saying, I think the feminist movement sort of launched and it was like fully realized at this time, 1968.
Quite possibly. Leave it that Beaver's
happened.
mom wasn't trying to switch it up and get a job.
There were like the really straight-laced people in suits, and then there were the people that obviously had to be extreme the other way.
The counterculture, yeah, for sure.
Dude, how crazy would it be if we all went back to 1967? How would we all behave?
About that. The whole time I was watching it, I was thinking about that. Like the cigarette smoke part, I was like, I couldn't do it.
Yeah,
I would smoke 2 packs a day, bro. I'd be like,
I was like, Josh would be good. The rest of us would be miserable.
We'd all look 60.
I would. God damn, my stutter's like, what's up, fool? Hold on. Dude, I gotta like compose myself.
Shit. It's okay.
That one got me bad, dude.
Man. Recover.
I get that every now and then.
I felt my mouth going, we're gonna do it again.
Oh, that's what she said.
Not according to this fella. Oh, jeez, man. Anyways, I don't remember what I was saying.
I don't either.
Dude, oh, you know what? Okay. Are we done with this movie? Are we talking about something else yet for a second?
Sure.
I mean, if not, that's cool. I can wait.
No, yeah, yeah, go for it.
I'm good.
Me and Parker watched whatever it is, dozensofbeavers.com.
Hundreds of beavers.
Yeah, hundreds of beavers
everywhere.
That movie, first off, is so fucking long, dude. Like,
it is too long.
Why is it so long, bro? It was like 5 movies in one, dude.
It's like almost 2 hours. I was definitely watching it. I was like, this should be 85 minutes an hour.
Yes,
but yeah, I think that I wrote that on Letterboxd. It was like my only complaint is that it's way too long. But
dude, that movie is fucking amazing,
isn't it?
I'm sure Parker loved it.
Parker laughed his ass off the entire movie. He literally just like this the whole time. And then when it was over with, I look over and he's like, I was like, my man laughed himself to sleep.
That's awesome.
Those beaver costumes. Yeah.
Yeah, I need to check that out. I keep hearing so much about it.
He kept being like, Dad, that beaver's killing that beaver. Oh, Dad, that guy's killing that beaver. Hey, Dad, why are they killing each other? Dad, what is that guy doing? I'm like, don't watch that part.
Yeah, it's not the one for Clay.
No, my son had it on and I walked into the room and I sat down and started watching. I was like, what is this shit? I was like, oh, beavers. I was like, this is the one Josh was talking about. And my kid, Drew, was like, oh, this is so good. I was like, no, I can't watch it. Sorry.
All the shit you watch and this is the one, huh?
Yep.
I don't think
there's no beaver titties.
This is not Asian beavers.
There's no beaver. There's no Asian beaver.
No Asian beaver.
Wrong kind of beaver.
Beavers, lots of hairy beavers.
Oh man. Oh yeah, that movie was so funny, bro. Like, and I knew I was gonna like it, but dude, it was way better than I thought it was gonna be.
It's so creative, man. It's so much fun.
Sort of. It kind of isn't. That's the beauty of it. Is just like, hey, let's just steal a bunch of fucking cartoons and do it in live action.
Yeah.
Oh, my face hurts.
Yeah,
Oh man.
yeah, I'm gonna check it out at some point. I mean,
It's good.
I figured Maddie might get a kick out of it for a little bit.
Dude, if she
Yeah.
get because she's not gonna understand all the shit you're understanding out of it. That's the best part of it. Is that like you can watch it with a little kid and you can both laugh your ass off at completely different stuff.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah.
for
She
sure.
might get 5 minutes into it, but I'll give it a shot at least.
That girl's so silly.
Yes.
Clay, what are we watching next week?
So along the lines of getting burned out in your career and your passion, your thing.
Oh boy, sounds like a comedy.
Yeah. Yeah. I was thinking,
Fight
a
Club.
newer movie, Challengers.
Challengers.
Oh,
Okay.
Okay.
I probably
Wait.
won't get anybody to watch this unless I make it movie night.
The one that you've watched like 7 times?
I've told like 11
He's been talking about
people
it.
about this movie, and
Yeah.
nobody has watched it yet. Nobody has watched Challengers.
Yeah, it's a fucking tennis movie, dude.
It's more than a tennis movie, Randy. And
No,
will
everybody
sell this
likes
movie.
it. Everybody likes
But,
it.
yeah.
No, I mean Zendaya's ridiculously attractive, so I'm not like tripping. I'll watch the movie. I just don't know if I want to watch it with my wife around.
It's
Or do.
I think it has
Yeah,
eye
or
candy
do.
both
Never
ways,
mind.
I want. Yeah.
Chris has the right
I mean,
idea. I mean, I'm
There's
just talking
something in
shit,
it
dude.
for everybody, I want to say.
Yeah, it's one like I was sort of interested in when it came out, but yeah, I mean, other than being on a podcast, I probably wouldn't watch it.
Yeah.
But I'm down.
Well, you liked what was that? Bones and All, right?
Yes.
Me?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
All's awesome.
Oh, y'all like that?
Oh, I
one,
love
right?
that movie.
Yeah, it's same guy, Luca Guadagnino.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yes,
he's
sir.
yeah. No, it's so. I actually have watched like half of it, and I started it like late, and I stopped it, and I never picked it back up. But I have been wanting to watch it. So
When I was working at Alamo, I was interested in watching it because the trailer had Zendaya looking all Zendaya like, and I was like, shit, yeah. And then I watched like a good chunk of it, and I was like, I don't care. So I'll try to force myself to watch this one. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to finish it. You know what? You watch. I'm going to get on here next week and be like, fuck, it was amazing.
I don't know. You're the wild card here. I would say like maybe lean into the music a little bit and try and have fun with the
Yeah, but he doesn't like Trent Reznor.
He does
and all
like
that stuff.
Reznor.
yeah,
I hate Trent Reznor. That guy fucking sucks.
don't lean into the music.
He did the whole score,
Watch
right?
it on. Yeah, he did. It's like kind of rave music. It's
No, that's
very,
okay.
like-
Krista might like it too, so I might watch it with her.
We'll see. Wild card.
Is it on Max right now?
I've done some specifically for you. What's
Prime.
that?
Is
Prime.
it on Max?
Yeah, it's on Prime. It's
Okay. Bro, you ain't gotta
That's
worry about
free.
me. Don't worry about me when you're picking movies. I don't give a shit. If I really, really don't want to watch something, I assure you I will not.
We've been through that, you and I. We've been through
So, but no, I'm good with this, dude. Look, Zendaya is good looking enough to where I'll watch just about
Oh,
everything
yeah.
she's in at least once.
She's built for speed. Tennis
Bro,
body.
this look she's in the trailer. She has that look where she's walking and her shoulders are shaking, and I was just like, "Fuck, dude!" Like 1986, man. I'm just, like, fuck. What the fuck? Like, what the fuck?
Cool.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
What
to
else
me.
did you jamokes watch this week? Anybody watch anything cool besides dozensofbeavers.com?
Let me see if someone else has something.
I revisited some old ones. It's Nothing Nothing Mama, Just a Game. That's an old Mondo.
Never heard of that
Macabro.
one.
Yeah, it's a straight up grindhouse exploitation movie.
It's called Nothing Mama, Just a Game.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, sounds awesome.
It's pretty wild.
Is it a U.S. movie or is it like Italian
No,
or
it's
something?
Is it a US
Venezuelan
movie?
Yeah, Venezuelan movie. Filmed in Venezuela
Venezuelan.
and Bolivia. I don't know, man. It's like this dude.
Just the title of
sees
that one's got me interested.
It's
This
Mondo
guy's like a
Macabro.
sugar cane. Yeah, it's a Mondo Macabro.
It's
He has
gotta be
this
wild.
big. He's a big sugar cane rancher, and he's got this whole spread, and he sees this chick, and he's like, "She's gonna work for me," and so he gets his mom to hire her, and then he locks her in a sugarcane processing facility and starves her, and she's always like, I need to eat, like, give me food. And he's like, take off your clothes. And she's like, no. And he's like, no food for you. And they go around and around like that for a while. it's just a wild ass.
Only wieners for you.
Yeah, dude. It's bad.
Sounds good, man.
But I started thinking, like, man, for a while there, I was really into exploitation, and it wasn't too bad, you know. But there's a little bit, but not. It wasn't.
I like exploitation movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got one that I'm gonna pull out I may have to get Chris to find this. What's called Myra Breckenridge.
I don't know that one.
Yeah, look that one up.
So either.
Quentin Tarantino was talking about it. It sounds real perverse
on this podcast. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Also, that guy's jail story kind of had me.
Dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't listened to it yet. I really want to listen to it. I might listen to it tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I knew Roger Avery went to prison, but I didn't know what.
You guys are talking about the Joe Rogan interview, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
With Tarantino and
Roger Avery.
I forgot he was the one that did Killing Zoe, and whenever I got that, I just bought a copy, so I'm really excited.
Yep.
I'm gonna probably watch that very soon. I may just wait and watch that one with the show because that one I think we all need to watch and talk about it.
Yeah, I've been curious about that one.
I would love to do it. It's not streaming anywhere.
So I've got a DVD copy. If that is acceptable for you guys, we could get it to Chris.
I've got a copy for sure.
We can
figure it out.
We can figure it out for sure.
Okay.
Yep.
That sounds good.
Yeah,
well, then why don't we just plan on that? Because my pick's in a couple of weeks or something, and let's just plan on that being a pick so we can get it figured out.
Sure.
Make it easier on you guys. I don't want to make it hard. I really am looking forward to watching this one again. It's been a long time, but I used to watch it. Like I don't say often, but I've seen it more than once.
Okay.
It's a party movie. We used to smoke out and watch that.
I used to fucking smoke out and watch this movie.
Sounds cool.
Fucking nod off their party favors in the movies, but
some black tar heroin.
I mean, yes, actually, but wasn't gonna say it.
I was referring to what they were talking about in the podcast, but
me too. This movie Myra Breckenridge, though, I don't want to tell you much about it. I hope you don't hear anything about it because I want you to just watch it because as far as I know, something that happens in it is real wild, and I just thought like that's hilarious, and I wouldn't mind putting this out there. But I thought y'all all already listened to that podcast for some reason, so
I did, but I don't remember him talking about that. Maybe I missed it.
It was definitely towards the end of it.
Okay.
Or maybe like the 75% mark, like definitely the back half. But that was a good podcast, man.
It really was.
Joe Rogan, I kind of can't really listen to him anymore. But his guests, if it's the right guest, I'm interested. He seems like such a fucking poser these days. Like, I just want him to stop with all this pretending. He just pretends, and it drives me nuts, man.
Yeah, I don't think he really has anything like that good to say anymore. So
he just acts like he's like this bro guy, but he also reads a whole bunch, and he's like, "Oh, but I'm a dumbass." It's like, stop, dude, just be yourself, because people like you. But he's a fake comedian. He's a fake dumb guy. Like, chill, bro. Like, I laugh at the guy enough. Like, you're funny to me, but geez, like, you just fucking try so hard, man.
I like Rogan. He's all right every once in a while. I don't watch him all the time, but
yeah, no, he's.
I used to be a big fan of his, though.
Yeah, me and you both were. He's just repetitive. He got too big, especially after the COVID nonsense.
I'm not hating on the guy. Do what you want. I don't care. But like, if I hated him, I certainly wouldn't watch his show. But I can't watch it often anymore. I used to watch it almost every day.
Yeah,
he used to have them way more often. They had like crazy guests on that would say crazy shit, and that's what I liked about it. It's gotten a little bit like you said, repetitive. Yeah, dude, it was so fun. Yeah, all kinds of weird conspiracy shit.
Also, he's not in LA anymore, so
right.
The guests, people. He gets good guests still, but not. It's a lot easier for someone to just swing by.
Right in LA,
to show up in Austin.
I mean, who am I talking about? Apparently, I'm the punk rock version of that guy, and I'm certainly not near as good as he is. So, what do I know? That shit's so weird, but he's cool, man. And Quentin Tarantino's cool. He had on Josh Brolin recently too, and I watched that one. So I mean, he's getting good guests right now.
I watched that one too.
Brolin's awesome. I like that guy. His book's good too. I went ahead and got it and read it or listened to it, whatever.
Nice. Chris, did you get to watch anything else this week?
Yeah, I watched Pat Garrett and Billy the Kid.
Oh,
yeah.
snap!
It was good. It was solid.
Yeah. It's a sort of an unfinished movie, so it has jagged issues, but you know.
Yeah, it's it's kind of hard to follow at times. Like they just kind of go from place to place and talk about things. It's like I don't really know what's happening, but it's fine.
I don't think it's. I could explain it to you.
Yeah,
but
it's not that bad. Just it did like catch me a couple of times going, what are they doing? Who are they talking to? It's really not that.
Is that the one with the huge shootout at the end?
No.
No. That's the Wild Bunch.
Wild Bunch.
That's a good one.
This Pat Garrett and Billy the Kid is one with Bob Dylan, and it's all the Bob Dylan music in it.
I've seen that.
And they zoom in on Bob Dylan's face every time he's like, oh look, Bob Dylan. Oh, did you forget about Bob Dylan? Like here's Bob Dylan. He doesn't have very many lines, but they just find it a point to, show Bob Dylan. But
yes,
no, he was good in the movie. Like this, like the soundtrack, the songs he did for it were cool. So it's overall good. I'm just poking fun a little bit.
Yeah, no. So I've always wanted to do a video about this movie, so I won't talk about it too much. But the Bob Dylan thing was kind of forced on Peckinpah by the studio. Peckinpah didn't even know who Bob Dylan was.
He was young. So
yeah, he was pretty young, but a lot of his big albums came out in the 60s, so he was
already a thing.
Bob Dylan by the 74, I think. But he didn't know anything about him. He didn't care about him. But once he actually heard the music, he was into it. But he didn't really have a role for him. So there's nothing really written for him. It just kind of just put him in the movie and just kind of improvised their way through it. So he's sort of, I've heard it, the idea was sort of, in Ron, it's a King Lear thing. There's like this like jester character that sort of just is the witness of all of these events. He's sort of supposed to be something like that. He's just, he always shows up when things happen. He's just
he's like the fly on the wall.
Yeah.
He's always around, but he doesn't do much or contribute much or even really say anything. But it's
even when he says something, cool. He's like, "What did you say?" Because it's Bob Dylan. Like, man.
Is that movie come out with his story?
It comes out on Christmas.
Does it?
The Timothy Chalamet.
Yeah,
that actually does look good. I'm not a big biopic person.
Me either. I'm hearing it's good though.
Yeah,
I like the actor. He's good.
Yeah. I'm definitely gonna check that out. I'm a big
supposedly he sings like all the songs.
That's what I heard
in it too. So
yep,
I'm gonna check that one out.
I feel like I should know the answer to this question, but I'm gonna ask it anyways. Was John Wayne, was he in a bunch of spaghetti westerns, or is that not the shit he was doing?
No.
Dude, I tried to tell this guy that the other day, man. I was walking by this guy at the antique mall. He's a vendor there. It's not like somebody I didn't know. And he was trying to explain to this lady like spaghetti westerns. She's like, John Wayne movies. And I was like, I was like, I don't think that's what a spaghetti western is. I think the spaghetti westerns were trying to make John Wayne movies in Italy.
They're Italian, right?
Yeah. He should have said Clint Eastwood, not.
That's
John
what I said.
Wayne. Yeah,
I said Clint Eastwood.
Yeah. No. I don't think John Wayne would be caught dead making an Italian.
That's what I thought.
Western, honestly. Like, he was so very
racist,
conservative.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
American,
that too. Yeah, he was deeply American. Like, I don't think he'd be caught dead making one of those movies. It's funny. Yeah.
There's some good punk rock songs about John Wayne.
Okay.
They're fun. My dad was a huge John Wayne fan.
Oh, my dad.
I never get into it.
My dad loves John Wayne. I'm much more of a Clint Eastwood guy myself, but I
Yeah.
like John Wayne. It's
I've seen
funny,
him-
like you go to older generations. I go into people's houses,
Yeah.
for work, and you go into some of these older generation people's, and they will have a picture of John Wayne on their wall. I've seen it more than once. You just have a picture of John Wayne, like
They're in Texas too.
he's a legend.
Yeah, Texas too. I was gonna say like you probably see like a lot of Elvises or something like that.
I've seen a full John Wayne shrine. Yeah, I have seen Elvis too. Yeah,
That's wild.
yeah, fun stuff.
That's amazing. Yeah.
Oh, we'll wrap it up here in a second. I didn't get to watch too much this week. I did. I've been reading mostly, reading Stephen King and stuff. So, but I did watch Maximum Overdrive, which was a good time. Very stupid.
No, that's a very, very stupid fucking movie.
Well,
3 stars, maybe.
it's a 3-star for sure.
I mean, it's yeah.
I mean, the movie does begin with the ATM calling Stephen King an asshole, so that was cool. But
What a weird guy.
He is a weird guy. Interesting brain though.
Yeah, I don't really know much about that one. I mean, I'm not that well versed on Stephen
got
King,
a
I guess. I'm just
Fucking
kinda
Green
getting into it.
Goblin truck. Like, what the fuck? It's so weird.
It's a random movie. He kind of likes bad movies though. Like he likes sort of shitty B movies.
That's what I like about him.
Yeah. Other than that, I watched Jaws with my kids. I hadn't seen that in a few years, and it fucking rocks. It's a banger.
Jaws is awesome.
Yep. We watched the 4K on the big screen. It was quite fun.
Hell yeah, I bet that was fun on that screen.
Yeah, I was gonna since I've been reading King, I was wanting to rewatch like the new It movie. So I started
need to rewatch that one too.
I started it, and my daughter was watching it with us. Yeah. And we watched the opening scene where he drags the kid into the sewer, and we're like,
"That's terrifying."
And she was like, "I want to erase this from my memory." I traumatized her, so we turned it off and watched Jaws instead.
Because that's way better for a child.
Yeah,
that's awesome, dude. Yeah. That was the first thing me and you ever did, like outside of hanging out at the shop, right? Was seeing It.
I think it might be. Yeah, it was the first movie we saw together for sure.
Yeah, that was a long time ago.
It was.
Yeah, because I was in theaters still. What year was that, dude? 17 or 18?
17, I think.
18, 17? That's crazy. No, no.
18. It's got to be 18 because that's after the World Series, right?
Let's see. Yeah, 2017.
It is 17? Okay. Maybe it was before.
Yeah, because it had to be at least that long ago. I mean, we've known each other for a long time now.
Yeah, that's crazy. And you fell asleep in the movie, and I said never see a movie with you again.
And now we do a movie podcast. God damn it, dude! That is hilarious. Actually, I straight fell the fuck asleep too.
You used to do that. You used to do that a lot, though.
I'm a lot better at that now. I still fall asleep pretty frequently, but not like I used to. I used to be like, credits are rolling, cool. Dude, I've fallen asleep in so many theaters, dude. Like straight up, like just like crashed out in a theater.
It's a good place to take a nap.
It really is.
It can be.
I used to take Bricken and Charlie to the theater when the cartoon movies were coming out, and I would just put them in the seat, get a popcorn, a couple of drinks, and I would take a nap. And then credits would roll. I'd be like, "Whoa, let's go home." And they're like, "I want to go play." I'm like, "Fuck that. I need more sleep. Let's go." Oh man.
Man, I haven't been to a theater in a minute. I'm kind of missing it.
So I'm gonna go back and see Terrifier 3 again. It's coming back out for Christmas. I'm gonna take Bricken and see it, and after that, I think I'm done with theaters. Like, just I don't care to go to a theater anymore. The last few times I've gone outside of Terrifier, and even it's outside of Terrifier, it's just been miserable. I don't want to. I mean, it's not even an Alamo thing. It's just like theater thing. I just think I'm tired of the public in a theater.
Okay,
you've had some bad experiences, like a series of bad experiences.
Yeah, well, I'm too far from Alamo to drive out there and even meet up with you guys. Their whole fucking crew's different at this point, so I don't have like a beef with whoever works there now. But you know what I'm saying? But like, I'm too fucking far to drive out there, man, and not for a movie, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess if it's like during the middle of the day and nobody else will be there for sure, I'd probably go. But nighttime movies, I can't go to those anymore, man. I can't do it, man. Every time I go, it's some fucking people talking and just being obnoxious, and nobody gives a shit except me. And I'm like, fuck, dude. I'm not gonna be the old guy. Do what?
The only good thing about Alamo, for the most part, you know.
Yeah, and even there, you have to tell them fucking 6 times.
Yeah,
you know,
sometimes.
it's really frustrating.
It's not perfect, but it's certainly better than most.
Yeah, no, it is. That is the best thing about that place, in my opinion.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I was gonna say we need to schedule a Nosferatu.
Oh shit! I kind of want to see that one in theaters.
I know for sure. Me and Chris are gonna go see that, but
yep, I got like 2 weeks off at the end of the year, so
do you
finding the time for it?
It's pretty sweet.
Yeah, I was at the Bob Dylan one too, but I was gonna say like there hasn't been a ton of really good stuff coming out, so
yeah.
I mean, there's really been much to see at the theater because I saw Heretic, and then before that was Terrifier 3 in October. And, you know, it hadn't been much.
It's been slim pickings.
That looks like a good one. I still need to get the Nunsploitation flick that's on 4K now.
Oh,
Immaculate.
That one. I want to get that one. God damn, that girl's fine.
That comes out next week, I think.
That movie is amazing. I loved it.
I bought the Blu-ray when it came out. I don't know if I'm gonna double dip on it, but
I never bought the Blu-ray.
I
never bought the Blu-ray because I got stung by, was it Crimes of the Future? Like I bought the Blu-ray and then I bought like the regular 4K, and then I was buying a couple of
Second Sight.
Yeah. So like I bought that stupid thing 3 times. It's like I'm not buying like new Blu-rays anymore.
That shit is annoying.
Yeah.
Damn, do I have that on Blu-ray? I might actually have that. Fuck,
Immaculate?
Yeah.
I think you did buy it.
Okay, then I don't need a 4K.
Yeah.
Thank you. I would have certainly bought that shit if it real irritated.
I'm pretty sure you like sent us a picture when you got it or something.
I think so. Now that we're talking about it, I think so too.
Yeah, because I bought Bones and all when that came out on Blu-ray, and then that had the 4K now. There's a couple of them. So
dude, at this point, you just have to wait 3 more months. You'll get the 4K.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's like a year, but
it'll get one.
It'll get one. It's Zendaya. It's popular enough.
I am flabbergasted at how much you like this movie. I'm gonna watch it, and I'm telling you, sir, it better speak to me because I gotta understand what the fuck's going on with you.
The first time I watched it, it didn't hit me really at all. I missed some things because I was staring at the merchandise too much. It just totally went over my head. And then the second time, now that I just watched half of it before we got on the podcast, and I was like, oh my god.
He was so focused on the tennis matches that he just couldn't follow the plot.
It's like that. It's that kind of movie. There's some distracting elements. So
like you only gave it like a 3.5 or something like that.
Yeah, I was expecting to be blown away, and it wasn't that kind of movie to me. But now I'm starting to, especially after the soundtrack. Josh was like, "Hey, I mean, you listen to the soundtrack."
Yeah, I haven't seen the movie, but I've listened to the soundtrack probably 5 times.
Now I watch the movie and I'm like, oh fuck, I love this song, and then it's like, oh shit,
this one's a banger. I know this song.
Yeah, and Zendaya. So
yeah, for sure.
Cool.
Well, challengers next week. See y'all later.